What's happening, MJ traders and investors? It's Rod with Pow Group. Welcome back on The Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ stocks, crypto assets, news, and interviews. Also home to the best MJ community. Today is Monday, April 22nd. Hope you had a great weekend and a great 420. In this video, it's been a while since we checked in with MSOS. We'll bring up that ETF and chart. We'll do some technical analysis. I'll give my thoughts and opinions in terms of price action and what we can expect in the days, weeks, months ahead. And also curious what people think. Do you think we're going to get some sort of MJ banking, or what comes first? Do you think MJ banking or potential for rescheduling? Personally, I think that we could get the announcement of rescheduling because I think MJ banking will be a while yet. I think we're going to imminently see rescheduling approved by the DOJ, DEA, right? The DEA is just an agency within the Department of Justice. So I think that they're going to approve Schedule 3 recommendation. But remember, it doesn't go enacted right away, right? It's going to go through multiple months of comment period and other potential delays. So we'll see what happens. But as of right now, I think we could get the announcement of rescheduled to Schedule 3 at some point. I've been still on record to say it's going to be this month. If not, I think there's a good chance that it happens over the next couple of months. I think it's going to happen at least a few months before the elections because, like I said, that 60-day comment period, and then they'll want to get it done and approved, get the announcement out before the elections so they can say, look what we did, right? Going into the elections, there's been a lot of false promises right now from the Democrats, right? So again, I'm not on either side of the aisle. This is not a political channel, and I'm from Canada. So I just want what's best for MJ. But then I think we'll get the announcement of rescheduling. Then we'll get MJ banking uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. And there's talks about merging it with a crypto bill. And then I think we'll get rescheduling toward the end of 2024, 2025 actually get enacted. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like. It helps support me in the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. If you're new, you can subscribe, tick the bell, all that good stuff, and you'll be notified on any future videos or when I go live. And as always, this is not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. And I do own MSOS ETF in my portfolio. And as I mentioned, we'll just go over my thoughts and opinions on it. But I do think that, coupled with Florida, if you take a look at all the catalysts on the horizon, you can see slowly but surely we're getting there, right? Look at the MJ legalization map here in the United States. Legalize, medical and decriminalize, medical, decriminalize, CBD with psychoactive only, and then fully illegal. So there's, only 4 that are fully illegal, right? So times are changing. You can also follow us over on X, formerly Twitter. The handle for that is @GroupPow. Going to be using that as my platform of choice going forward. So as I mentioned earlier in the video, it looks like we've got some sort of paywall here. Lawmakers consider merging Safer Banking Act with crypto regulation. So essentially there's some talks that we're going to see it added to a stablecoin bill, which I think is massive. And as of right now, crypto still hasn't fully hit its top. And I've been on record to say, similar to 2018, whenever MJ started going on a massive bull run, crypto was going into a bear market, right? Crypto topped out around 2017, early 2018, and then MJ ran. And then we should see a similar move, in my opinion, when crypto tops out. We should see alt season over the next few months, and stablecoin legislation is more than likely going to be what kickstarts that. There's a weekly bull flag on Bitcoin targeting 113K if confirmed. We just need to break the all-time highs, get over around 74,000. Then we're heading to around 113K on that weekly bull flag target. And then after it tops out, then we're going to see alt season and altcoins run, and then I think a lot of that money is going to rotate. We had some sell alerts go off on the Pow Algo sell alert on a bunch of our big tech names, and we have big tech earnings this week. So we'll see if earnings are not great, because the charts are certainly saying, show me the chart and I'll tell you the news, because as of right now, we're having long-term bearish evidence on a lot of these tech names. And like I said, after alt season, all that money is going to go somewhere. What better sector than the MJ sector with so many looming bullish catalysts that'll only ever happen once in our lifetime, and after a 4-year essentially brutal bear market, right? That money has to go somewhere. So we'll take a look at the chart here at the moment. On the daily time frame, we're very much similar to SPY. So we confirmed a daily downtrend. We had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross after coming off our daily bull flag target basically being met. We came within about 3% of that target, and then the S&P 500 also had a weekly bull flag, so it was kind of similar. It was weekly bull flag on SPY targeting 521. We hit that. I think we hit 524, and then we pulled back significantly. Then we had a daily bull flag on MSOS, low, high, higher, low, and higher, high. Daily uptrend as well. And then we confirmed the daily bull flag, and then the target was targeting 1130, and like I say, we came very close. Then we confirmed a daily downtrend. We had an EMA 12 and 26 bear cross on our way to daily oversold, which again, bring up the chart for SPY. Very similar, right? Confirmed a daily downtrend, EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, and on our way to daily oversold. And we hadn't been daily oversold since all the way back in October. And then we hadn't seen a daily EMA 12 and 26 bear cross since September, right? So this is why I was very confident in saying that we're more than likely going to see weekly, if not monthly, consolidation. And sure enough, we've been consolidating on the S&P 500, so sell pressure right on the sector, on MJ and headwinds. And we're even monthly consolidation mode now on the S&P 500. But anything over 479 is a potential monthly bull flag, targeting north of 600. So we'll see if this can play out. But as of right now, MSOS did test the 0.618 fib retracement, so it basically gave back about 62% of this whole move off of the low. But as of right now, we're still in a monthly uptrend for the first time in history. If we zoom out to the weekly time frame as well, we are holding EMA 26 here on the weekly. Bulls are trying to fight off a weekly EMA 12 and 26 bear cross, which we do have support there at 730. So we could easily pull back a little bit more from here, but that's going to be key support because that's our monthly support. And we have our low, high, higher low, and higher high. We're just scouting a monthly higher low compared to the low there at 492. I was on record to say I thought the low would be somewhere around high sixes, low sevens, high sixes, and we hit 730. And then we bounced massively from that. From the low of last month, we were up another 50% from that. So that was a nice area to enter there on a monthly higher low. Obviously not telling you to buy, sell, or hold. This is not financial advice, but generally you don't want to enter. If you're looking for entries, you don't want to enter whenever we have a big bull move, right? Coming off the low there. Coming off the low to the high there, we're up 100%. So you generally don't want to FOMO and go chasing. You want to wait for higher lows and higher high and supports to be established along the way. Here was a higher low compared to this low. And if you didn't enter on that higher low, you had another opportunity to add. And again, this would be more long-term thinking, right? Investing and swing trading for a longer term. But as you can see, monthly higher lows generally are a solid area to enter. And one thing I mentioned to Power Group private community members today is that we've never closed over monthly EMA 12 in history on MSOS. So as you can see, we closed almost here in October of last year. We came very, very close. And then in September, but we ultimately saw an upper wick and then a massive sell-off into that. And look at this. We've got our 3 confirmations. Usually you want to see at least 3 candle closes, 2, preferably 3, but at least 2. And here we are. We have 3 and we're still above it. And we only have about 7 days, 22 hours left in this candle on the monthly time frame. So it's looking really, really good. Like I said, we got our 3 confirmation closes above it. And a lot of our names are starting to get above their monthly EMA 26s. And if that happened on MSOS, we have EMA 26 at 1235 and then price action resistance at 1460. So if we were to start to regain that EMA 26, which I do think is imminently happening, I think it's going to happen over the next couple of months, then we have a lack of resistance until 1460 or 15 psychological. So it's looking really good. Monthly uptrend still intact, the most important factor. And then, like I said, in terms of the daily time frame, we could see a little bit more short-term pain here, especially with the EMA 12 and 26 bull cross on deck here. But a lot's going to have to do with the S&P 500. We'll continue to monitor its movement. If it continues to see more downside, it goes down, test 480, test that 0.382 fib retracement on the monthly time frame. We need to confirm a weekly uptrend ASAP to set monthly higher lows. And the more pullback, I think MSOS and MJ at large is really going to be dictated by how much SPY pulls back. If SPY starts to set a bottom here soon, I think that'll mark a bottom on MSOS. And then obviously news can change it, right? If we get any kind of bearish news or bullish news, if they come out and they say, DOJ or DEA comes out tomorrow and says, we approve Schedule 3 recommendation. Well, obviously everything's going to skyrocket, right? Even if SPY's slightly down the next day. And then money would probably rotate into MJ. And also, like I said, big tech earnings this week and sell alerts going off on a lot of our big tech names on the POW algo sell alert. So, maybe we start to see bullish momentum for MJ stocks and a positive catalyst around the corner when big tech earnings are on the horizon and we've got sell signals on the longer term time frames from the POW algo. So we'll see. It's looking, like I said, it could come any day now. And then safer banking, obviously, if we get that attached to a crypto bill, that would be huge. And like I said, that would more than likely start alt season, in my opinion. And then we would see MJ run massively after that. But one thing that I noticed as well is we already got the stochastic and MACD bear cross out of the way on the weekly time frame. So the only real good thing about this chart here on the weekly is that we've already had those crosses. Could we go down further from here? Sure, but the downside should be limited as we've already seen follow through from those bear crosses. If one had yet to cross bearish and it was just about to and hadn't even seen follow through, then I'd be a little concerned because we could see a lot more downside and follow through for those indicators. But it's already happened, so it's looking like downside could be limited. And we are back testing the 50 and the 100 weekly here. So we have the 100 at 827 and the 50 weekly at 724. And we're gearing up for the first ever potential 50 and 100 weekly moving average bull cross. But they're still a ways away. I would say at least a couple weeks away before we really see them cross. But who knows? Like I said, it could be any day. And that catalyst could be the fact that we get Schedule 3 approved by DOJ, DEA. We're also perfectly back testing the 100 daily moving average. So the 100 weekly and the 100 daily being tested right now, and we held it to perfection today so far. But if we do end up closing a daily candle below the 100 there at 844, the next on deck is the 200-day moving average there at 743. So I do think there's a lot of support there in that low 7, high 6s. I don't think we're going back under $5 again, maybe ever. But excuse me, I think the bottom is going to be, long-term bottom is going to be in low 7s, if not already, or high 6s. Because we could potentially see that one final shakeout as well, right before we see a massive bull market. So a lot will be riding on the S&P 500, like I said, and keeping an eye out for a headline, obviously, with rescheduling and the decision with regards to Schedule 3 from the DEA being the most important factor. But let me know what you think of this news. Let me know if you think we're going to see rescheduling first. Do you think we'll see that decision come out first, or do you think we'll see safer banking and uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ news first prior to that? I think most likely scenario, we're going to get the approval of Schedule 3 from the DEA. Then we'll get safer banking, uplisting to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. And then after that happens, shortly, after that, maybe end of 2024, early 2025, we actually get rescheduling enacted. And then 280E goes away. And then I think summer of 2025 is when adult use sales will begin in Florida. But Ohio coming on next month, coming online. We've got Pennsylvania, other states potentially, other European states as well, countries as well, and Canada still unable to get taxation done or excise tax improvements, but I think that's something that'll be coming down the pipeline in the not too distant future. But keep in mind, even if we get rescheduling approved by the DEA, it's going to be multiple months before it actually gets enacted, right? More than likely 3 to 6 months. So we got some time here in Canada for the LPs and the lobbyists to really start to make their voices heard and catch their attention of their lawmakers here in Canada, because we need to get something, right? Something's got to give. And the fact that we're seeing all these companies dropping like flies, doesn't matter if it's retailers, producers, there's tons of companies going under and belly up, and a lot of that has to do with high taxation. And that is obviously the biggest topic right now. And 280E in the U.S., some companies in the U.S., Curaleaf has already said they would already be paying a dividend more than likely, if not for 280E, paying north of $350 million just under that tax code alone. So just imagine if that was hitting these companies' bottom lines. But like I said, MSOS could see a little bit more short-term pain, but I do think that the downside is limited. And look for that, again, low 7s, high 6s to be the bottom. And we'll be keeping an eye out for a headline. All right. Curious what everybody thinks in the comments section. We'll continue the conversation there. It's Rod with Powell Group. Thanks again for joining us in the Pursuit of Wealth. Have a great night, and we'll see you again in the next video.